Alright, so remember a while back when I said the MOAI mastery is impossible? Well, yeah, now I have it, and now I'm going to show you the best way to get it. Now, it actually isn't too bad. It's still a pain to grind just because of the 1 minute window. If the 1 minute timer didn't exist, then it would be way easier. But anyways, let's get right into it. So the first quest you're going to want to do, and by far the most important one, is going to be slap 500 people into MOAI stun. Now this one is extremely hard to do normally because it takes a lot of skill to actually do and master. Now I'm going to show you the easiest way to do this. So I have my ult right here, and we're going to place our MOAI, and most of the time you want to slap someone into your MOAI. Even if it doesn't give you the quest, it'll just make them ragdolled. But then once they ragdoll, you want to go ahead and equip and unequip your glove really fast, and then spam click. And you should slap them off the ground, and if you do it right, they'll get ragdolled and then immediately unragdoll. And that should count towards the quest. Now this isn't completely consistent, but it is still basically the most consistent method there is. Now as far as the second quest goes, don't do this one. I mean, I literally have 2,000 stuns by the time I got this MOAI mastery, so just don't do it. You're gonna get it so easily. And then for the third quest, it's going to be the second one you want to do, unless you already got the stun 450 people one. And what you want to do is kind of place your MOAI at this point on the edge, to the point where it's not so sus that it's like right next to the edge, but like kind of inwards, but still to the point where you can slap them off in one hit. And now what you want to do is try and slap someone into your MOAI, and then once they're in the MOAI, you can either do two methods. There's one, which is the method I already showed you, where you equip and unequip your glove super fast, and that will work more consistently, but you have to be closer to the edge. Or there's method 2, where all you have to do is go ahead and slap them once they're unragdolled. Now this method doesn't work all the time, and it's less consistent than the other one. But yeah, this mastery really isn't cheesable. I mean, it's pretty much impossible to cheese it in any way like you would with Knowles or Pillow or anything. It's just a hard mastery. Now this did take me around, I would say about 10 hours of total grinding. Of course I didn't do that straight, but it took some time, which is why it took so long to make this video. But the main problem I had with the first quest was the 1 minute period. Basically, if you don't know what that means, is you can't do the same quest if you've already done it to someone before. It has a 1 minute cooldown, meaning that you basically have to server hop each time you do one on almost every person, and that way it'll be much faster. Another method for quest number 3 I forgot to mention is to stand around right here, and it'll make you look like free bait for people to kill you. And so someone might be walking up trying to get the kill, and then they'll get ragdolled, and then you want to hop back and immediately try and slap them, and that'll make it so that you don't have to slap people into your MOAI. Now another thing I might recommend is trying to find people who need kinetic. If someone needs kinetic, they're going to try to come at you with stun, and they're going to try to basically ragdoll on your MOAI. And you can do any of these 3 quests with those people, and that did help me a lot. The only thing is when they realize that I'm not peaceful, and then they just get kind of sick and tired, and they just don't want to use me anymore. But anyways, let's get on to the showcase. Now this mastery, despite it being one of the harder ones, is not as OP as Bus. So if you didn't know, Bus mastery can basically be unavoidable if you use it right, like if you use the R ability and then the E ability. This one is pretty easily avoidable, and it only really works if you know how to use it right. So we have this cool like smoke effect and rocks coming out of our hand now. It's kind of an obvious indicator. And then our MOAI also has sunglasses now. And as you can see, I can slap my MOAI forward, but it can also knock people back instead of just ragdolling them. So basically, I can do an infinite combo where I slap my MOAI forward and it'll ragdoll them. The only thing is they can get out of this because there is a cooldown on when you can slap the MOAI. So it is easily avoidable, but it is still pretty good. Yeah, this mastery doesn't have too much potential compared to something like a Run or a Bus. I mean, Bus is literally super easy to get, and yet it's probably the most overpowered mastery in the whole entire game. So honestly, if you're going to go for masteries, this is going to be probably the second or third or fourth last one you want to do, because it's just a pain and grind for not that much of a reward. What I did hear about this glove though is that it's OP in public servers with one-shots. So I'm going to try going into a public server and testing if it's good on one-shots. Alright, so we got an error in the server. We're going to see if this is useful against them. As you can see, they're right here. They're kind of demolishing everyone. We got him. We're getting him. Oh, we're getting him. We're getting him. Dude, it is actually kind of hard to escape. Dude, he just reset. He was like, no, I don't want to deal with this. I'm gonna reset. The only thing about this glove is that it takes way too long in order to actually kill someone. It's more painful to get pushed around by this MOAI than to actually die with like a 100 kill streak or something. Like this is super painful. It is nice that you can move around your MOAI now. It just kind of becomes annoying because you have to constantly manage it. With the regular MOAI, you can basically just put it down and then chill until someone walks into it, and then you can basically bully them. But this one just feels a lot more bully and unnecessary. Not to mention, the slap cooldown and slap power are way too slow in order for it to actually do some decent damage. Like if I were wanting to chase after someone who's running away from this MOAI, it would be super hard because my slap cooldown's low and it doesn't really push the MOAI forward much. Another thing is that it feels unnatural to slap it. It really doesn't feel like you're slapping it. I feel like they should add like a slap effect or something like engineer, because it just kind of feels weird to be pushing it around like that. But yeah, let me know in the comments, do you think this mastery needs a buff or a nerf? Personally, I think it needs a buff. At least make it so that it has a bigger range or something. I don't know. It just feels like the addition is too tiny. But anyways, that's going it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.